Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Crow Tarot Show. My name's Matt, and I hope this message finds you well. I'll go ahead and open this reading by casting runes out of this mead horn. It's a noisy process, so if you have any sound sensitivities, please turn down your volume in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Okay, 4 straight out. Alright. So we'll start with Urus, literally Orok, and then Ewas, literally horse, and then Naughties, disruption, difficulty, struggles, and Berkana, the birth rune, goddess. Get a better shot here. Urus, Ewas, Naughties, Berkana. So what I'm seeing here is that somebody has a powerful friend, Urus and Ewas. And Naughties and Berkana came out on their face. So these two runes together tell me that there was going to be some difficulty for you that was going to start here soon. Maybe something to do with a feminine energy with Berkana. And there's this, and Naughties is the rune of difficulties, but on their face, it seems to suggest that this is a non-starter. Somebody was going to do something. Now, if this wasn't actual people who were trying to get in your way, I'm kind of wondering if this is a spiritual protector. Some unseen force that works with you. And they've prevented some sort of difficulty from arising in your life. Now, I get the sense that you might not have realized this, though so many people in collectives are intuitive and sense things. There's definitely, quote-unquote psychic abilities that exist in collectives that watch tarot and whatnot. So, wow, no, I am really getting the sense that this is a spiritual protector. An old one, like an ancient force. Maybe not something that's even known. The name maybe it doesn't even have a name. Some kind of primal strength. And this could be you, of course, your higher self even, stopping some kind of problem before it starts. So let's see if the cards give us some more clarity on this. Of course, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Please, if you enjoy my videos, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, where you're watching from, that sort of thing. Tell me how this resonates with you. I'd love to hear it. I'll just give it another cut and we'll begin here. So we'll begin with strength in reverse. No, we don't read in reverse on the base reading. So strength, okay. That's Urus. That was the first rune I picked up. And that is crossed by 7 of Pentacles. It's been a crossing card a couple of times recently. Impatience. Also success unfulfilled in the crossing. It's patience, impatience, and the card of success unfulfilled, like you're waiting for something. Yeah, whatever got blocked. This is whatever got blocked. Maybe this was going to be a very strong energy that was coming your way. And then above, temperance, balance. Sagittarius energy. And I'm recording this reading for the full moon, so And full moon in Sagittarius, the blue moon of May. So, yeah, interesting. And then and below the High Priestess, that's the intuition you have about this. I was right. That sense I picked up that there was people were sensing that there was something coming their way, but I think it's been stopped, whatever it was. Maybe we'll find out. Behind the world, a cycle is closing out. Okay, something has been completed. All right. Maybe this was almost not necessarily an attempt, but like the pattern being broken. Natis and Berkana, like the being on their face. Yeah, interesting. Oh, the 10 of Wands in the future. Okay. It doesn't mean that that's happening though. That might be indicating what is being dodged, what is being redirected around you, or you were being redirected around. Current energy, 9 of Swords. So yeah, there's some anxieties about something, and I'm wondering if this is an unknown sort of energy. Like I know during full moons I get very anxious, and this one not so much. It's really interesting. I got a little headachy and maybe a bit oppressed and low energy, but not anything. I don't know if I said oppressed, and that's 10 of Wands, but not anything too serious for myself. So this is definitely collective energy. And in the Sun. Oh, okay. You're coming out of something. Like people see that you're moving out of something, even though you might be feeling quite anxious or kind of hung up on the moon here, the fears, and then hopes and fears. Oh, the Hierophant. So, okay, so hopes. Maybe this is, this is like official things. This is the card of traditions and whatnot. So, might be since it's hopes and fears, like a mix of both of those sort of anxieties, where you're hoping that things end up turning out your way because it's kind of out of your hands. It's also Taurian energy, so it's very stable. And it's also the conduit between the divine and the earthly realms. So let's see what we got in the final. Oh, 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so work. Huh. Oh, okay. Maybe somebody was having some issues at a job. Yeah. But it's going to be fine for sure. What's on the top here? 2 of Wands, so the card of Dominion. That's your energy kind of standing in not victory, but stability. Sort of looking out into where you are the most effective, like your dominion, your domain. And on the bottom, the 5 of Cups, disappointment. So this is probably what you're worried about here. And it is in your domain. So again, with ending with the 3 of Pentacles, I think that's work. Or I don't think it is. It is typically work. So yeah, this is pointing to maybe some anxieties you've been having with what you do for a living. And yeah, 7 of Pentacles is pretty classic there too. And being crossed. Yep, yeah, exactly. So you've picked up on something that was going on in the background. Maybe it's not necessarily just you either. Like this 10 of Wands sometimes suggests to me that this is, in terms of work readings, that this is kind of like a group thing. Like the 10 Wands, the people around you are kind of like being a burden or are going to be burdened. Now, I think here, though, for a lot of you, it's going to be you've been a bit worried about maybe work becoming more of a burden for some reason. Maybe it's an individual at work, but I think really it's more of things going on with you. Though I don't see where this is necessarily requiring you to work or anything. I think this is just requiring you to be strong, to stand strong, be the Orok. And going back to the runes, Eowal's the horse rune, the rune of companionship, travel also, and movement. I think if this is your energy, which I do believe it is, it's more of that spiritual companion, and that could be your kind of imagined self, not the mask that you wear, but that part of you that exists in your imagination. And that excuse me, that part of you is helping you build the strength to deal with this moment where things are a little uncertain, where things feel unfulfilled, but you're out of the cycle, but right now things are kind of up in the air. So yeah, if anyone is experiencing sort of anxieties with work, or dealing with the people at work, this is your reading, and I think everything's going to turn out fine. Your high priestess energy and the foundation here is kind of working for you and against you. You know to trust your intuition, but sometimes we have to not necessarily question ourselves, but identify where that intuition's coming from, because I think a lot of people pick up on others' energy, and that energy is fickle and it's unfamiliar, and so it creates like an anxiety in us, this Nine of Swords energy. And if there is any advice to that in this, it's about being able to identify and tell the difference between your energy and someone else's. Yes, exactly. So the strength to identify someone else's energy, and that someone else here is Awa's, and also your own energy, the part of you that is a bit separate from you. And then Naughties and Berkana, of course, Naughties here. And I think Berkana is at the end. So Berkana it's kind of a new beginning. It's a birth. It's the rune of birth. But Naughties right now is living with the Nine of Swords. And this is the disruption that you're experiencing, this anxiety. And outside of you, if you look and you kind of go off of, you really try to connect to the energy of others who aren't necessarily the people who might be creating anxiety for you, you'll see that the sun's out. Everything's okay. And if this is like representative of an authority figure, a boss or something like that, their energy isn't disrupted right now. I don't pick that up at all. And they'll act justly and within their purview. They're not going to go out of their way to make your life miserable. And if someone's worrying about that. And then the Ten of Wands here, I think this might be suggesting that this 9 and this 10, this 9 of Swords and this 10 of Wands is suggesting that this is you. And again, I keep picking up that this is kind of an internal thing. And don't burden yourself with these anxieties right now, because the sun's coming out, or it already is. The sun is out, and it's just kind of gloomy in your mind. And maybe we'll get some advice on how to clear up the clouds here and get into here. Because remember, you have this strength. You are the strong one. And this energy of like, if not impatience, feeling unfinished, but I think you are, everything will be fine. And temperance up here, this is what probably more of what you're wishing you were. You need to really find a balance in this situation, and you're a little too heavy on probably like a feminine type of worry, or like in terms of, I don't mean a man, woman, gender. I mean literally the ideas of the feminine and the masculine, which would be passivity. So I think you just need to take a little more of a direct role in your feelings and move into the sun a bit. Kind of go out, maybe since this is outer energy, maybe go talk to other people, go spend some time with people. even if you don't know them, but go just around people, somewhere in public. Go to a coffee shop, a bookstore, whatever, a library, really somewhere quiet, to just sort of absorb the energy of peace from others and be able to identify that, oh, okay, maybe this anxiety was actually coming from outside, and you are kind of ascribing it to your usual correct intuition. And really what you're doing is just sort of vacuuming up energies that are around you. And it's disrupting you. And when you get here, it'll be fine. Now, this is that difficulty being canceled out by this strength and this companionship. Okay. So Uruz is, of course, strength. And Ewa's here, I think it's probably in between here, the High Priestess and Temperance. And the Hierophant. So it's these three major arcana is where Ewa's is existing right now. These are the energies that are interacting and in sort of the great scale. And also, we can even say the sun too, because here's the horse. So we could place it right there even. But I think all the major arcana here, including strength and the world, this is a very major arcana reading, a very heavy reading in that direction. They're suggesting that this is a bigger thing, and it's something you just have to go through. You do have to actively sort it out within your own mind. Balance it out here. And I think really learn about your intuition a little more and be able to identify when you're just pulling in energy from others or the outside and when you're stirring it up in yourself, and being able to kind of split those two apart and identify with intuition that, oh, everything's okay. I'm just being a little, unbalanced right now. And I just really need to take a more direct approach to keeping strong. Yeah. And that's again, going back to the beginning with the runes before we pulled the cards, that's where I was picking up that this Uruz and Ewas together was like a spiritual companion or protector, and that again is yourself, usually, or maybe always, depending on what you believe. And it's manifesting here to protect you from yourself, from these anxieties that you're building up, and protecting you from the beginnings of where this can lead. And really, this reading is to help assure you that everything's going to be okay. So let's get some more clarifications from the Rider-Waite here. Oh, there's the Nine of Swords. There's that anxiety. And the Four of Swords. Okay. Yeah, so right there, this is all very heavy mental energy. And this is being, kind of not necessarily trapped in your head, but the nightmares, it is in your head. It's kind of the subconscious area. And then this is rest. The Four of Swords is rest. So we need to give that a rest. Maybe you just need to get a little more sleep right now. Maybe this is kind of the end of a hard time at work, and the anxieties that you're feeling are due to just being extremely tired. Yeah, oh wow, that makes sense because of the Ten of Wands here. That's a burden. You've been burdened, and it's made you very anxious and sapped your energy and your strength. You need to just go out into the sun, mix with some other people, sort of don't worry about this part because it's out of your hands. That's another sort of, good symbolism of the Hierophant, is something that's out of your hands. And there's not much you can do other than work on how you react to the things that you can't control. Oh, Four of Cups. So there it is. Like that's you not quite wanting to grasp that things are okay right now, and like being overworked and being in a situation that is very stressful, frantic, it's easy to get stuck and to not be able to see when we're okay, when everything's fine now, and we can take a breath. We can, and again, like Nati's, it's also a stopping energy. It's a prevention. So a necessary type of a delay at times. So you need this rest, and you're not wanting to see this fact that this anxiety, these nightmares, whatever, however you want to read the Nine of Swords, will be balanced out by rest. It'll get better, and this, you just have to accept it. You just have to look at it for what it is and realize that you need a nap. And sometimes we just have to be reminded of that. And it can be, this is very old stuff, like I mean, we when we think about like, oh God, I mean, how stressful life could have been at some points. It's like really peace and sleep, that sort of thing is so valuable now, because at one time, we'd have to wake up every few hours to make sure things were okay, and tend the fire and all that kind of jazz. So it's easy for us to get stuck in kind of burdensome cycles that prevent our rest and prevent our rejuvenation, and it affects our work. But here, we get some rest, you get some sleep, and I think everything will be okay. Let's keep going here. Oh, yeah, Nine of Wands. So that's, we almost landed right on there. That's the Wounded Warrior card. So that's your energy right now. You've stood the test, you've faced the difficulties, and you're just kind of, not recognizing that the enemy's not at the gates anymore, and you can just take a breath. Let's keep going. Oh, the High Priestess, right? We're pretty much right on the High Priestess. Yeah. I think intuitively you know this, and again, we're coming out of a cycle of maybe burdens, and this burden that we're moving into is sort of what the warning is here, that you have the strength to have gotten through the burden, and it's time to just kind of drop it. You've got too much anxiety about this. And the High Priestess being this kind of nice watery energy that is peaceful, assuring, and maybe not, and also, being okay with uncertainty, really. That's part of intuition, is to kind of ease that stress of uncertainty that we'll get, that creates these Nine of Swords kinds of energies in our minds. Now, let's keep going here. Oh, strength again. Okay, well, that's a strong strength. Wow. Yeah, strength, intuition. Yeah, this is where you'll get your strength. Build your strength up from that ancient energy of intuition, of pattern recognition, that stuff that's got us here, And yeah, I wouldn't. This is basically saying, don't worry, everything will be fine. Just recognize that you need some rest. You need to take a nap, take a little bit of vacation, whatever it takes, whatever you can do to relax. Again, Nati's in both in the negative and the positive is a stoppage. So let's stop the anxiety however you can. And I think that's just taking a break, getting rest. Oh, the Tower, yeah. Yep. That's again. We go back to this High Priestess situation and the strength of in dealing with uncertainty, and that's what the Tower is it's the ultimate manifestation of uncertainty, kind of showing right up. You have to be okay with this potential, and this is also, I think, a warning of staying in this Nine of Swords energy. It's come out twice, so I don't see how that isn't a warning to these things. And we just have to balance things out, with temperance up in your mind. I think that's what has to happen, and you've found the balance before. So it's a lot of just kind of going back and looking at what you've done in the past to deal with these sorts of situations. Let's clarify this Tower a bit more. King of Pentacles. Okay, so this guy's, King of Pentacles is the energy of having everything you need, like all the abundance, and having gone through all of the steps necessary, done all the work necessary to sort of relax, maintain yourself. This isn't a tower moment. This is a time to recognize your own abundance and sit in it, enjoy it. Taurus energy, of course, and to recognize that you have that foresight, and that despite a tower happening, this energy of the King of Pentacles is you're in abundance. And that's where you're at. So, I guess if there's a situation someone's going through with maybe the place they work at, and you're anxious about maybe what's happening in the background, and this world is the end of this business or whatever, and you're feeling like you're going to come up on a huge burden and you're worried about it, everything's going to be okay. Like, you're going to find another job or find something to do to make money. There's nothing to worry about here for you. Now the world around you, that's a totally different story. But again, I think out here in the outer energy, that's telling us that, everything's fine. Everything will be okay. Even if no matter how you're feeling right now, this anxiety is really due to lack of rest and coming out of some hard situation. Well, maybe not hard situation, but a hard. I keep getting work, so if you've come out of a big work push where everyone was exhausted and yelling at each other and just pissed off all the time, it's just time to take a break, and you just have to accept that. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't think we're going to need all those. Try again. Okay, Ace of Swords. Yeah. So this is that clarity you're wanting to see. And the Tower energy with this sudden ending, I really get the sense that that's like your fear, your looming fear, and that there's going to be a threat to your abundance. And, well, I think after you get some rest, you'll see that this is the anxieties, and you don't have anything to worry about. Your abundance is fine. You're safe. And the Ace of Swords here is just saying your mind will clear. Your mind will clear up just fine. So let's see what we ended up with at the top and the bottom. Yeah, the Page of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So, yeah, the Page of Cups is that the inner child, or that sort of maybe inexperienced part of you that even though I think you have the experience, it's just deep in there, like saying, no, we don't know what's going on. God, we got to freak out because, like, might need to find another job, or blah, blah, blah. In reality, you're fine. You're going to go back to work. You're going to go plant a new field. It's going to grow. You're going to harvest. And things are going to be fine. Just as normal. And you've just got to recognize that this sort of worry of our stability is age old. It's ancient. That's kind of the ancient energy I think I was picking up at the beginning with just the runes. That this ancient worry, this ancient really energy that drives us to even burden ourselves a little excessively with worry due to survival isn't always necessary. Sometimes it is, absolutely. Sometimes it is, but it's a protector. Again, that does protect us. That protects our legacy. It protects the species, really. And right now in our time, I'm not going to say it's not necessary. It is necessary, and we need it. But I think it just gets the better of us, and that's what's happening here. The old energies of trying to protect the tribe and yourself has gotten the better of you. And just relax. Go take a walk. Take off your shoes and stand in some grass. That's all you need. It's all you need to do. Don't worry. And that'll be this reading. If you found value in it, please like and subscribe and share it with anyone who you think might need to hear it. And with that, I hope to see you on the next one. Take care, everyone.